Race 7 of the BMW IBSF Women's Bobsleigh World Cup, the penultimate race of the series from Königssee, Bavaria, the oldest artificial ice track on the planet. Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Martin Haven. John Morgan watching the action as 18 sleds from 12 different nations take on this sinuous piece of artificial ice.
Yeah, Martin, it's a track that the first one built, changed a little bit over the years, but it's a short track. And, you know, almost in NASCAR racing, this could be like the Bristol of bobsledding. It's very difficult to get down fast, and it's got challenges all over the place. Getting settled before the first curve, a lot to do with your velocity here, and now this is an amusement park ride with these 4 S's. Just real challenge. You can almost lull yourself to sleep, and hopefully you'll exit straight into a bend away. It's not a straightaway. You got to hit a couple times. Center curve and then into the Kreisel. Exit down here into, wow, there's just some challenging real estate. This little 100-meter section right there. Now some 79, 80 mile an hour speeds into Echo. Myers, Taylor, and Garrett on the record. Uphill section in the bottom part of the track, Martin, as we've seen in all of the racing. You can't make a mistake there in this gravity sport because you lose so much time in that uphill section.
Katchenbeil, our World Cup points leader from Austria, is here. Laura Nolte isn't. She's just become the junior world champion in Samritz this weekend. Melanie Hassler, also in Samritz. She was on the podium, the bronze medalist. Lisa Marie Buchwitz, former German brakewoman, was the silver medalist. We're also missing from our field Lubov Chernik, Margot Bock, and a couple of others who were in the junior worlds. Margot Bock, the under-23 junior world. Brakewoman Madison Stringer, if the name sounds familiar, she is the daughter of Lisa May Stringer, who slid for Canada as a brakewoman and then for France. Well, there's another woman who's changed nations. Kaylee Humphries, former Canadian, now US athlete. Teammate Alana Myers-Taylor. There's our Olympic champion, Mariama Yamanka. Well, Yamanka's had success on this track, but not as much as Kaylee Humphries. Kaylee with 3 gold medals, 5 silver medals, and a couple of bronze medals as well. Kaylee Humphries has not been off the podium in Königssee since 2010. That is a straight decade that she has been in the medals here. So she will definitely be among our favorites. So too Yamanka and Schneider, the top Germans. Kim Kaliki is back as well. Maybe she'll medal here. Maybe Katchenbeil. Maybe Lana Myers-Taylor. Who knows? Maybe even Christine de Bruyn of the Netherlands might get a shot here. Last year she was in 4th position. 18 sleds in the field, so anybody who gets down safe will go in our second heat. Giada Andreotti and Anna Schenk of Italy kick off the penultimate race of the Women's Bobsleigh World Cup here in Königssee, Bavaria. 4th World Cup start for Andreotti and a 4th for Schenk as well, but they have not always been paired together.
Well, it's about start times, as I always talk about. 5:53, the start record, Martin, is 5:11. Whoa, some disparity there.
Well, it's a snowy day, so they may be a 10th or so off the start record, the fastest crews, but the Italians won't be close to that.
Well, they're just building up their Italian program. Gerda Weissensteiner won a bronze medal at the 2006 Winter Olympic Games in Torino. But she also won a gold medal in luge in 1994 in Lillehammer, but she was the last real good Italian female driver. Of course, as they build towards Cortina, Manny Mahata looks on, 52.22. And that's 2 seconds. 1 second 94 off the track record. Tough to tell if we got a fast track here or not, Martin. They're throwing down with not much incident and pretty good.
Andreotti's one of two drivers who made their World Cup debuts for Italy last year. The other, Tania Vicenzino. We haven't seen her in World Cup racing this season. Italy only has one spot, and they are focusing on Andreotti here. Nice clean run down at the bottom. We'll have to wait and see, as you say, exactly who else has got speed here. So Gerda Andreotti and Anna Schenk are done and down for the first of their two heats. They have not raced here before. Nadezhda Sergeeva has, though. She's got Elena Mamedova behind her. This is the 50th World Cup race for Nadezhda, 4 of them as a brakewoman. She's closing in close on that. A win and a silver medal, her World Cup bests. Both of them came in Sigulda in the last couple of seasons. 2 top 5 finishes here in her career. And a notable big crash in the World Championships.
Yeah, that was disappointing. We really thought that she was going to make a move for a medal that time. And she had done awesome in training. But disappointing World Championship for sure for her and the Russian camp.
Yeah. 5:33 start, so 2/10 quicker than Andreotti. She needs a good bend away.
Not perfect, but she didn't get into a skid, Martin. We saw a lot of 4-man sleds earlier in the day with some serious skids in that bend away. And 5700ths, this is all expected. She should be about 7/10 at least ahead of the Italians at the bottom. No mistakes allowed here. Maybe get it up to 75 or 80 if she does well. 79. That's pretty well expected, Martin.
Finished in 8th place in last year's race here. But as I said, she has been in the top 5 on this track. So let's see how the day pays off for her. And of course, one good run, as we saw in the men's race earlier, doesn't necessarily mean that's your position. Very easy to make mistakes on this track, John.
Looks a lot better driving this than she did the monobob yesterday, where she finished in 11th place. Pretty clean run there. You know, this is hitting and not skidding. Hitting and not skidding. She's keeping the sled straight. Pretty good strategy there. And the runner tips here look pretty quiet on the exit into this danger zone part of the track that's been pretty calm in the bobsled. Not so much calm in the women's skeleton.
Or in the men's. Well, next up, Anne van Nieuwenhuis. Like Nadezhda, this is her 46th World Cup start as a driver, her 51st in total. Sarah Ertz behind her, summer and winter Olympian, former heptathlete. New sled Ruby, bought this year. This is Anne's 8th World Cup here as a driver as well. She's had 2 7th place finishes, including last year.
You know, the Belgian Bullets started about 11, 12 years ago, and she's the last Belgian Bullet. She wasn't one of the original ones. Sarah Ertz, her brakeman's a summer Olympian. And Martin, we know her persona, doesn't get the start times. She can drive, and she needs to drive every heat perfectly because of the deficient start time. See the kind of speed she's got here. She chased down the Russians. I don't know. 1300s. It's a lot. She might not lose any more time, but it could be pretty tough for her to pick it up.
Good line at the bottom.
1000. She's coming, fastest speed.
Gonna be
Single
close.
digits.
Little bobble in the final corner. Didn't quite get there. So 51.38. Beg your pardon, 51.53.
And better speed in the Russian sleds. 500's deficiency at the start. Runner tips. No steering. Maybe a little body lean to get off that wall. Here. You can see the runners. Look at the top left side of your screen. You can see there's turning there. Let's see if they go to neutral. And here in the graveyard, a little bit of a skid, but pretty good lines. Bottom part of the track. Does she jump into this curve? Yeah, not bad. She gets high there,
a bit early in the finish corner, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. She didn't like that.
Next up, Switzerland's Martina Fontenave with Mara Morell on the back, the 26-year-old from Bern, making her first ever bobsleigh race start. She's not started Europa Cup or anything else, so welcome to bobsledding, Mara Morell. Hope that Martina Fontenave doesn't make her a real bobsledder on this trip, because they always say you're not a real bobsledder until you've crashed.
That's certainly jinxing the field here, Martin.
Yeah,
like
I know.
But,
I regretted it as soon as I said it, but it's out there now. Martina, 5th last week in St. Moritz, her best result of the season.
Yeah. Won a bronze medal in the monobob in St. Moritz. Then yesterday had the 4th best run in the first heat, and she had the 10th best run in the second heat, fell to 8th. She had some issues trying to drive that smaller sled. 200s, she could take over the lead right to the 100.
She does.
There it is, 600s. Good driving. Martin, we saw that on the bottom in the monobob with her. She made some mistakes in the monobob in the chicane or in the bend away, but she can drive.
And Mara Morell in the back makes her first ever bobsleigh race start.
I think that Morell is a name from Switzerland men's program in the past, or Tanya Morell. Remember Tanya Morell, the skeleton rider?
Yeah, 1L. But similar name. And the reason that Mara's in the sled is that Nadia Pasternak is with Melanie Hassler in the Junior Worlds, and so too is Arena Strabel. So a great opportunity for Mara Morell, and Martina drove really nicely down the bottom of the track.
Really? Yeah. She found that German speed trap on the bottom.
She's liking life at the moment. Well, talk about German speed traps. Let's see what Mariama Yamanka can produce. 43rd World Cup race in women's bob. Originally from Berlin, now lives in Oberhof. Vanessa Mark with her as well, the 24-year-old from Wiesbaden, another heptathlete. Her 5th World Cup race. Winner here.
Pretty disappointing monobob.
Yeah, very disappointing monobob. And she gets back to what she likes with these sleds.
She's going to be in quite a competition here, Martin, as the German selection for next year's Olympics unfolds. She won the opening race of the year, but this isn't perfect. Speed,
yeah, with
second best
Kim
speed.
Kaliki and Lara Nolta on fire, she really does have to watch her P's and Q's, because Lisa Buchwitz will be angling for a place as well.
How about Schneider? There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
Gonna be running for 3 spots. 500s is coming back.
Yeah. Buchwitz won't go to the World Championships, but Yamanka will. So will Nolta as the junior world champion, and that means there's a spot for Schneider and Kaliki as well.
Don't think that's a good run right there, Martin. I think that's going to leave her on the outside looking in.
Either that was a good run for her and an excellent run from Martina Fontenave, or Yamanka might be struggling to make the medals. Winner here 2 years ago. Didn't make the podium last year.
Yeah. I think there's 3 or 4 more sleds to come challenge her. This didn't help. In fact, on a 1 to, on a A, B, and a C, that's a C. When you hit that inside wall coming out of the, and this isn't really straight either. So, German equipment, 500 start on her home track. She should have been more than 100th ahead of Fontenave from Switzerland.
Mariana Yamanka leaves from Martina Fontenave and Nadezhda Sergova. 5 down in our first heat here in Königssee. Winner on this track just 3 years ago, Stephanie Schneider, then with Annika Dracek, today with Tamara Sear. Sear making her 3rd World Cup start. Her first was in Sochi 2015. And then Sigulda last February was her 2nd. In between 2015 and 2020, she had 5 years sliding skeleton for the German team before returning to bobsleigh. That's a career path.
Yeah, I saw that track and field / skeleton, and that caught my attention too. Second best velocity off the best start. 25, great lines. Look at her tilt a little bit to the left. Oh, and she doesn't have a perfect line. Should have the best speed though, Martin, yes. So she'll start pulling away here. Yeah, well, the start, look at that. Most of that's related to the start, and she didn't get penalized too much in the bend away, but this is going to be a 30, 35, you know, maybe she's coming back a little bit. She's about 30, 3,500 lead. Ducks her head with a lot of confidence into that finish.
Well, she's only had 2 World Cup starts this year. They've cycled Kaliki out, they've cycled Nolter out to allow Schneider to get a start, because although she was not quite fit at the beginning of the season, she was very close into the selection trials. So she's had 2 World Cup starts and 2 wins. That's not a bad strike rate this year, is it?
No.
Look at her leaning again.
This is, yeah. Well, you know, I watched these Germans do that my first time here in '77, leaning in and out of these curves, you know, instead of steering. And, you know, there's not, look at the runners. You can see her steering here. Look at that front left, top left runner, the back of it. There it comes back to neutral, and she starts to dive out of the curve. Very, you know, and look at, she's neutral here. She's not steering the runners there.
Right down the middle.
Looks
Takes that
very mellow. Yeah, very mellow. The doodles are so far.
They're just more in control than the skeleton sliders and the monobobs. Well, Stephanie Schneider, 1 gold medal here. Alana Myers-Taylor, 3 gold medals on this track. She didn't race last year when she was on maternity leave. Husband Nick and baby Nico are here this weekend. Sylvia Hoffman behind her as ever. And Alana, 88th World Cup race. She did 16 as a break woman. She was the world champion here in 2017 and 2 World Cup victories in 2016 and 17.
21. As we get closer to the start record's not even close, 5:11. Sylvia Hoffman, a weightlifter, Martin, not from track and field, a weightlifter. And she was on the winning sled last year with Kaylee Humphries.
Yep.
Bang, bang, lots of bangs. Speed, only the 2nd best speed. So she's going to be probably coming back towards only 500s. It's going to be close between her and Schneider.
Super smooth.
It's going to be
super smooth.
And here, only 100th. I don't know, best speed, so she might get out to 2 or 300s. No, 300s down. Yeah, Scheimer shakes his head. Best speed up that uphill section. I thought she'd get it, but.
Lolo Jones there helping with the sled. She was on the sled in training with Alana as well. Alana,
well, the
whisker behind.
They show us this is the Kreisel. 2nd best speed, only by 1/10 of a kilometer. You can see her steering back to neutral pretty quick, steering again. And you don't see anything there. And down here, this is the exit of the Kalkstein. That looks great. Can't fault much of this, but top speed. She tied Schneider on the bottom. Good exit coming here, Martin. Don't know where she lost it.
Wasn't a lifetime, only 300ths of a second in it. Next up, Kaliki, under-23 junior world champion here in 2019. The overall junior world champion the following year. Yet to win in women's bobsled, but she has not been off the podium in any race that she's done this year.
Yeah, that to me just says this is
just
right in her hands. It's just right. You know, she's got a... Oh, but that's not going to help. That is a no-no. Coming out of there, crushing the wall on our left, her right. That's all the exit of the S's, the first pivotal part of the track. Fourth best speed. We should go away to the red numbers.
When Cripps did that, he lost half a second in the bottom part of the track. How far back is she going to be? Wow.
She's hanging in there, though. Maybe 10 hundredths.
Sure is.
10 hundredths. She'll be shaking her head there. She's not driven herself out of the medals yet, but she's certainly put a lot of pressure on her second run, which she's very...
She could have been leading, but for that mistake. Only her 8th World Cup.
Start. What's the push bar here in the start? Well, she janked it up, and that wasn't a great entry into the sled by Kaliki. But this is the mistake here, Martin. Look, she comes out too quickly. Bang! And then you got to think of, okay, don't steer. She's not steering. She's just in a take your medicine, hit. But Martin, that thing just compounded all the way down that bend away.
Yeah.
She'd have been the leader for sure, Martin, if she didn't make that mistake.
Yeah, got to agree with that. So our junior world champion done, our current points leader and the 2019 junior world champion on this track, Katie Bile, with Jennifer Onosanya behind her. 6 World Cup races here, incredibly, in her 34 starts for Katie Bile. So nearly 20% of all her World Cup races have been on this track.
She's nursing a bad knee. Start, not bad. She's got a much better start this season than she had in the past. Of course, her longtime brakeman, Jennifer, wasn't with her last year or 2 years ago during the Olympic campaign.
Yep.
1600s, not good. 5th best speed, and she's making it tough on herself. But, you know, to be the World Cup leader, she's got to have some talent. Boy, she's a quarter second back down on Martin, and she's falling.
2 podium finishes already this season in Sigulda and in Winterberg. Disappointed with 10th in Königssee last week, and across the line in 4th place. So she's
better
ahead of Mariama
Yamanka.
Yamanka, and Fontenave, and Sergeva, and Van Nieuwenhuis, and Andre Uti. So Katie Bile looks a long way to the medals. 2300ths is a long stretch on this track. Somebody's going to have to hand them away. But we saw yesterday in the 2-man race, we saw today in the 4-man race, medals don't just cling to you. You've got to go and get them.
Yeah, because there's demons all over the track, and she didn't have very good bend away. That long straightaway, she didn't hit her marks, and here, down in the very mellow waters of chicane, no problems, uphill, little mistake there. And here, watch, nothing there.
Katie Bile in 4th place at the moment. We are halfway through our heat. Next up is our 10th sled, and that is Australia's Bree Walker. Sarah Blizzard with her. Bree finished in 16th place in the race here in January last year. World Cup best, 8th place in the first race in Innsbruck, and she has not been out of the top 10 this season. It's only her 9th World Cup in total and her 5th start of this year.
9th in yesterday's monobob race. Monobob, she pretty well dominated the Tour last year, winning 6 times, but the fields were not what they were yesterday. Yesterday was almost a pre-Olympic preview.
Yep. Took a gold in Innsbruck in the monobob as well.
Ooh. Not bad.
She gets the...
She got out. She might have got away with that, Mark. Ooh, late there. 3rd best speed's pretty good.
Yeah.
2100, she's better than most. Could be a top
4 run.
Here, if she keeps
it.
Stay here,
nice
that's good. 30-hundred's back.
Looks like 5th at the line, 6th at the line, 100th behind Mariama Yamanka.
Behind Yamanka. Not bad, though. 5th best start. And she's tied with Fontenave from Switzerland.
Yeah, Bomi likes that. So 3 sleds covered by 100s. Yamanka, Walker, and Fontenave. That's going to be a Heat 2 sort out.
Watch her, she's flat there. When you're flat on that exit, then you're going to crush the wall. And not as bad as we saw, who was it, crush the wall? Kaliki.
Kaliki, yeah.
And then she did pretty well here. And considering that mistake on the exit, not bad.
Yeah. So 10 sleds down and 8 still to come here. The first of 2 heats in the women's bobsleigh in Königssee, Bavaria. Stephanie Schneider, our race leader. Christine de Bruyn of Canada. Sorry, in the truck, called her Dutch early on. That's because we saw her husband, who is Dutch, a little earlier. Well, Sarah Villani behind her makes her 3rd World Cup start.
I wonder if she is a dual citizen. They allow everything in Holland, so I'm sure she is.
If John drops off air, surely you'll know why. 3 bronze medals in her World Cup career.
And a World Championship medal, too, last year. Yep. Didn't do so well. Didn't do so well in that monobob race yesterday.
Speed's great. Top speed, 1:11.3.
Hard hit there. She should be holding on to this top 3. Could be top 3. Looking at.
Could be challenging for the lead of the race here. No, drifting out to 1600s back. 4th place at the line. 4th place
20.
It is.
She's right in the hunt. Right in the hunt.
Yeah.
Wasn't a perfect run.
Very good speed in the Kreisel, but it just drifted away a little below there, as so often it does.
1000s in front of Catherine Bira from Yamanka, 1100s better. This wasn't perfect, Martin, but it's not the sideways. We've seen some of the sleds. The runners, you can see very little steering, if any.
Yeah. And then down.
And look at the quiet. Quiet exit there. Yeah, you could see that.
A lot of steering going on here. Just didn't have the line right.
There.
All 4 runners off the ice there, weren't they? Yeah. And think of the energy it takes to throw a sled up in the air, complete with its crew. That's energy that you're losing in speed. Andrea Grecu next up, 23rd race for her as a driver, her 43rd World Cup now, so she's just about to start 1 race more as a driver than she ever did as a brakewoman. Theodora Vlad behind her, back on the back handles again. Theodora also driving 2-man and monobob. So again, the Romanians are splitting their teams to create more drivers.
Remember last year, Martin, when she got the silver medal in the event up in Sigulda in the European Championships? I thought it was time for her to really start making a statement, but haven't seen any kind of results since.
Well, the talent appears to be there. It's just unleashing it. She's barely been out. She's been 6th, 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 8th, and 9th until St. Moritz when she was 11th. Maybe this slightly older BTC sled doesn't quite have the speed at the bottom in St. Moritz that it really needs. Pretty decent weapon on this track, though. But not a great run. She paid the penalty there for hitting the short wall, didn't she?
Yeah, that crushes any kind of velocity opportunity. You know, that's one of the 4 or 5 pivotal parts of the track. Not often where you see the driver way bigger than the brake. She's one of the tallest athletes in the field anyways, but, and this is just a sentence to, and I'm sure she's, you know, there's some swear words in the, you know, and it just compounded, Martin, it just compounded.
And in the head, you're not steering, you're just going, come back, baby, come back.
Come back.
Baby didn't come back this time, I'm afraid.
There's a song, Baby Come Back, isn't there, Martin?
There's a song for everything, isn't there? Yeah, The Equals. Eddie Grant's first hit, The Equals. Next up, Misha McNeil of Great Britain, Youth Olympics silver medalist 2012, Junior World Champion 2017. Behind her, making a World Cup debut, Vicky Williamson of Great Britain. She was a track cyclist for Great Britain, had a career-ending, almost, and near-life-ending crash back in 2016. Broke her back, broke her neck, a lot of damage, came back, and in fact, 2 years to the day since she last put on a race suit to cycle for Great Britain. She pulls on a race suit for her first bobsleigh race for Great Britain. So that's a great little bit of timing. Vicky Williamson on the back brakes. And that allows her teammate Montel Douglas to try and recuperate a little bit for the World Championships. So it's a second career. She's looking to be a summer and winter Olympian if she can. Vicky Williamson.
Well, now Misha's got to be perfect. Mika, excuse me. That 2800's back. I mean, there's just no allowance for any kind of mistake. Yesterday in the monobob, you know, not bad. She was 6th. Yep. So that tells you she could drive. We know that. 4th best speed, considering the start. That's pretty good.
Little wavy in the Kreisel, but the exit looks good. Bit of steering going on. 12th at the start.
No mistakes here in the uphill section.
On the splits. Oh, little tap and a skid.
That's a hard hit.
Should be doing well to get in the top 10. No. Bowman not liking that one quite as much as he liked Brianna Walker's 7th equal. Yeah, Misha couldn't work her magic there, I'm afraid. 12th at the start, 12th at the bottom.
You know, Innsbruck next week is a very easy track to get down. It's just tough to get down fast. This is a tough track to get down, period, much less get down fast. And there's challenges like here. She didn't do bad there. She wasn't a perfect exit. And this is the graveyard section, uphill. And that's a hard hit right there. When you see that bunks flop like that, and then she makes a mistake there and it carries all the way to here. I don't know if they show us going in here. Does she hit the take on there? Was good.
Yeah. Damage was done by the final corner. 12th place for Misha McNeil in the first heat, out of 13 sleds so far. Next up, Kaylee Humphries, last year's race winner. That was her 3rd gold medal on this track, her first for the USA. And as I said, 5 silver medals and 3 bronze medals as well. She has not been off the podium here in a decade. Don't expect her to be doing badly here either. Lauren Gibbs behind her, 40th World Cup start now for Lauren Gibbs. This is Kaylee's 109th.
I don't think Lauren's ever been on the podium.
She's racing a brand new sled. Not sure she... Oh, yeah, she was. Bronze with Alana 3 years ago was Lauren Gibbs. Maybe her only... Oh, no, she got a bronze with Jamie Grubel-Poser in December 2015 as well.
Way back.
So
You're right.
Yeah.
So I stand corrected.
And I got a shot of my son Sam on the podium with her and Jamie from a couple of years back when he was here on tour with us as a mechanic for the US team. 1500's back. Here we go. Let's see what she's got.
Different sled than last week. She wasn't very happy with that 7th place finish. And this looks like a top 5.
4th at the line.
4th.
Tied with Christine de Bruyn of Canada.
Christina de Bruyn.
Not off the podium in a decade.
But, you know, you can see her shaking her head.
Yeah. Lots to think about.
Well, she won the monobob race yesterday going away. Is this a BTC, you think, Martin?
Yeah, I think
find
so.
That out?
She liked the BTC she was driving in Canada, and she used it last year as well.
She
made the mistake coming out of S4. Yeah. I think the technology keeps moving. Well, since 2300's back, could be another podium finish. It's going to be a tough battle, isn't it?
That Kaliki got 3rd, and she crushed the wall on the exit of the S's.
Yeah. Next up, Alicia Rissling of Canada. 21st World Cup start for her. Dawn Richardson-Wilson behind. 4th World Cup start for Dawn. Diesel Dawn.
Big start for the basketball player. Ooh, she steered around there very hard, though. 900's back. She gets out without crushing the wall. She does. 1100's back's not bad. 2, 3, top 5 speed gives her a chance to the second best speed. So this is interesting. Her only medal was on the pre-Olympic test in Korea, 2017. A bronze. This is looking like a top 6, though.
Top 5 here on her first appearance. 2 years ago, she was 5th. Right now, 100th behind Catty Bile. So
she's ahead of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5:31 start. I'll be happy with that. 6th best start. Her brakewoman, Dawn, very musical, plays flute, guitar, and piano. So we need to get them and Melissa Lotholtz together on the piano in the hotel in St. Moritz.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get to St. Moritz, Martin.
Yeah, well, next season hopefully will be a little more normal. Oh, look at a big steer there. Hauled it off at the bottom of the track.
Yeah, right there. Look at that. And that would.
Yeah.
They look like a monobob race right there. With the back end coming out like that.
Yeah.
That cost her a 10th, Martin. That could have had her.
Yeah.
Martin, she's only 100th behind Catty Bile. So the. Yeah, she could have caught Humphries without that mistake on the bottom.
Next up, Melissa Lotholtz, 2nd start as a driver. Her debut was in Innsbruck last January. That was a 15th place finish. She has not raced here before. Her brakewoman, Erica Voss, makes her World Cup debut. She's done 1 Europa Cup race in Altenburg last week. This is her 2nd bobsled race. Comes from Calgary, lives in Toronto. She's a jumper and has represented Canada in ringette. John, you know what that is. I had to Google it.
Martin, I don't. So
it's a combination. It's played. It's played on ice usually. It's a combination of kind of ice hockey and deck quoits. So you don't have a puck. You have a quoit, like a rubber donut, and a stick without the hockey end on it. Just a stick. It's a thing.
Well, thanks for that education. Melissa got 5th last night in the monobob. Great starts.
Yeah.
You know, here she is here, 15th. Wow. How did she lose that much time? Wow. boy, did she lose some time on the bottom part of the track. Sixth best start, 15th best finish.
Away. Just gradually went away. And of course, Melissa, only her second World Cup start, hasn't had many drives down this track, so the whole thing is going to be, as you say, it's not how much you steer, it's how little you steer. She doesn't steer here, but then takes the first of a number of hits on the way down the bend away. And late here
there,
too.
The wrong side.
Yeah, a lot of steering.
Back and watch the big hard hit on the wall. Bang. That takes away some velocity.
Erica Vos, welcome to the World Cup. Melissa on the right-hand side there. One more trip to go. Next up, Kim Uran made her debut for the season in the monobob yesterday. Had some pretty smooth lines. This is only her 5th World Cup start. And for Ju Hyung-won behind her, the 18-year-old brakewoman, this is her World Cup debut. She did 3 Europa Cup races last year. The brakewoman as a driver, and then raced in the Youth Olympic Games in Samoritz, where she finished 9th. So she can drive, and she's also the brakewoman. And she's 18.
This was a very impressive performance in monobob. She got 4th, Martin. 14th best start, she got 4th.
Yeah.
She does here. Yeah, the 17th best start. That's the worst start of the so far. But she was on the bottom part of the track in that monobob. She was hitting speeds like Humphries, and she had to because of the deficient start.
Kim Uran made 4 World Cup starts in 2016, 2017. Nothing since until today. And her best race, she was in 5th place, I beg your pardon, 9th place in Whistler on her World Cup debut. And of course, until Pyeongchang Open, Whistler was very much the home track for the Koreans. That's where we always met their new sliders. 7th best speed. Here she comes, 15th, 16th at the line.
Not what she did in the monobob, but she made the big mistake on the exit of the S's, which penalized her seriously.
Smile on her face as a brakewoman pushes her up into the station.
Real high here, side of the curve right before Kreisel, and then that might cause her to go up. Ooh, big variance, change of direction there, variance. Big change of direction there, so that cost her a lot of speed. Neutral.
Ken Charles watching in North Carolina reminds me that Kim Uran is our North America's Cup champion from 2017-18. But again, it's been a little quiet period for her since then. Well, there she is. And Ju Hyung-won, her brakewoman, 18 years old, and a youth Olympian. Final sled in the first heat, Elena Osipenko making her 6th World Cup start. Yulia Egoshenko, her 7th. She made her debut here in 2016 behind Nadezhda Sergeva. She's also pushed for Lubov Chernik over the last few years. 15th place in last year's race. .540. Now she needs to be perfect to get up there in the top 10. And the first challenge, Gremlin, right here. Not bad. Better than most until I jinxed her with that skid. 12th best speed. That's really low there in Kreisel. Looks pretty commercial. It's 15th, 16th spot, Martin. Yep, 16th spot down the track. You know, when you look at her start time of the 15th start, 16th at the bottom, her lines in Kreisel were really low. Again, not hugely experienced on this track. Just one Europa Cup race here and the Junior Worlds before last year's race, so it's only her 4th time here. Not too bad out of S4.
But then the second she gets, after she hits here, she gets into a skid that you can't imagine how bad that is for your time. And then here on the calm waters of the labyrinth, just makes it look pretty easy. I think the Ice Meister was very generous this year, Martin, except for the skeleton athletes.
Yeah,
that was exciting.
Skeleton is always a little bit wild rock and roll ride here, isn't it? And Luge was as well, wasn't it, first week of January? Stephanie Schneider and Tamara Seyer are our leaders from Alana Myers-Taylor and Sylvia Hoffman, with Kim Kaliki and Anne Kristenstrack in 3rd position. The top 3 covered by a 10th. Tied behind former teammates, now national rivals, Christine de Bruyn and Kaylee Humphries, 2300s out of the medals, or out of the lead, 1300s out of the medals. That's easily giveawayable by any of the top 3 on this track. Katie Bile, too far out, you think? She's going to have all she can do to hold off Alicia Rissling, Mariama Yamanka, maybe Brianna Walker and Martina Fontenave as well, and possibly Nadezhda Sergeva. Then in the 50s, Grecu and Van Nieuwenhuis just 200s apart. Misha McNeil, a little bit of an island on her own. And 600s apart, Lotholtz and Osipenko. So all 18 sleds made it down safely. They will go in the 2nd heat, which comes up shortly here to round out our weekend of action in Königssee. Join John Morgan, me, Martin Haven, and the IBSF TV crew to find out who claims the final medals of the weekend.